What up, campers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday morning to you all. 9:01 a.m. here in San Jose, Costa Rica. 11:01 a.m. in Miami, where I'm 48 hours away, 60 hours from being in the pool at the Diplomat Beach Resort with my guy Joe Anisi first in the chat, going to be rolling with us. I lost my voice a little bit last night on the sports keg, yelling at Lucrative Larry. But we'll be fine. We'll be just fine. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Joe Anisi. We got Ann America. Ann America will be on our late show. Christopher Betts says, good morning all. First time catching a live show in a few months. Glad to be here with all you low baggers. There's Christopher Betts in the house. Vinny Cornell. Matt Randall. Back-to-back cashers on the tape play of the day. And easy cashers from our guy Matt Randall. Rich G coming off a 5-0 day. Brandon Lugo in the house. Josh Poino. Vegas Vic. The bartender Harry Dubitsky. There's Red Girl. We finally get to party with Red Girl. T-minus 60 hours. We'll be partying with Red Girl. Viper NB in the house. Prince of the City says this time next week, waking up from my hangover in Miami. There it is, Prince of the City. You know that's going to happen. Justin Grammer, Jansen, Nasty Nate. There's Carlos Peroche. There's Oscar Valverde, Vicente Ramirez. Walla Walla Dos, Top Set, Deer Slayer Ski. Hako Schofield, Coco Bongo, Nasty Nate, Christopher Smith. Alex Ramirez, Jeff Joseph, morning all. Jimmy Red Cabernet wins at the Wood with an $11 mutual. Did you catch? No, I didn't. And we talked about you on the sports keg. Oh my God. This is from Jeff Joseph yesterday on our show. Man, when Jeff Joseph, Gas Station Sushi, Guillermo Zertucci, any of these guys come in with a play, he comes into our chat yesterday. He says, Jimmy, Red Cabernet tonight, Wood buying race 7. This is the money run. Oh man. I was beating myself up all night. I can't believe I forgot it. And I realized I'd forgot it live on the show. And of course, everybody was like, yeah, it cashed. Jeff Joseph, great capping. I wasn't an idiot. Can't believe I messed that up. We got DMX 93. We got Jordan Elmquist, Bookie Lover Q, Jeff Murillo, Hunter Engelhardt. Great job, Hunter, on the show last night. Joe Anisi saying Minnesota moneyline, Arizona moneyline, Houston moneyline. I will copy and paste that right now. Right now, Pie Guy says, got the Raiders +3 last night. Yes, I got the Raiders +3 at +100. We're going to go. We have NFL plays. We got NFL plays. I got 3 games today, I believe, and then 1 tomorrow at this point. I've made 4 bets, just $75 a pop, little bets. But I'm with you, Pie Guy. We got Sean Glass, Vegas Vic, Poppy Longwood, Yellow Jesus. Yellow Jesus, I joined you on the keg last night. Thank you, Yellow Jesus. I lost my voice on the keg last night. Jeff Murillo says, I get you a Twitter follow. I'll follow you for sure, Jeff. My pleasure. Absolutely. I'm going to copy and paste that so that I remember. Here we go. Copy and paster. Alex Ramirez, Angels came in. Yes, Alex Ramirez. Spidey play today, Angels. Not only that, Gas Station Sushi came into our chat. Said max bet Angels. Both you guys cashed. There we go. Ron Crawford. Spreadsheet sweep Wednesday. Today, Minnesota. Dodgers, Cubs, Arizona. From our guy, Ron Crawford. Spreadsheet plays, going to copy and paste. Thank you for sharing your hard work with us. Jared Schrader, Toronto, first 5 money line. Toronto set me up for a bad day, but I got over it. But then I completely shit the bed in WNBA. You know, and then when I look back at it, I think it was just lazy capping. And I was so lucky. I was lucky to push my 4th bet to only go 0-3 in WNBA, but 4-3 in MLB. Still very disappointing. Pink Eye Genie in the house. Jared Schrader hit with the Oakland money line. Yes, I hit with Oakland -1. Oakland team total over. Jared Schrader hit with Milwaukee money line. I did not. And the St. Louis KC under 10. That was the taint play today. I was on that as well. Let's quickly go over. Let's just forget about the atrocity that I delivered in WNBA. Actually, but we should throw that record up. Rafa, WNBA, now I'm down units, and what a mess I've made. There's no WNBA on the card today, so let's just put that away and not speak of it again. Let's go to my action note from yesterday in MLB quickly. Blue Jays first 5 -0.5 +100 loss. Blue Jays -1 +103 loss. Padres first 5 -105 cash. A's -1 +110 cash. A's team total over 4.5 -120 cash. Seattle Detroit over 10 loss. St. Louis KC under 10 cash. All right, so that's what's up, and we have Yeah, Eddie always said, Jimmy, be careful. Yeah, it's just lazy. It was just lazy, capping, upsetting. CT Bay's ready to go. Hunter Engelhardt says, got a casino roulette feeling for early game. Same feeling where you walk in and put some money on red or black. No score first inning. Detroit, Seattle. You can get it at -108. That's from our guy. Jeff Joseph saying, maximum security still iffy for the Travers. May go to Pennsylvania Derby. Tacitus will use blinkers for the first time in the Travers. Yes, and the equipment change in these giant races never, shouldn't say never, but rarely pays off. These equipment changes for these giant races. But what a field we're going to have, Jeff Joseph. Oh, man. What did you think, Jeff, of Owendale's Ohio Derby? I watched that this morning again. It wasn't great. I mean, he won at 3-5. It wasn't great. Big Guy Genie says, betting second half live, WNBA is gold. If you watch these games, put the bank account on Mystic second half, Mercury second half. Yeah, disappointing. Jeff Murillo says, Braves -1.5 wasn't bad yesterday. No, it was not. And let's get to work. Jace Gum in the house. Love seeing Jace Gum in the chat. Cobra Sports 609. The Sweaty Butcher is on New York Jets, Atlanta, over 44 and Packers first half today. Are the first half plays out? Because I'm going to add those for sure. Yo, ready to go. Double up. Raymond Reichart. What a great group. Hambone. Okay, let's get to work right now. We have 10 MLB games on the card. In 32 minutes, we'll be joined by the great Ian Cameron. Coco Bongo said, last night I made my first and last bet in that farce of a basketball league. I did not help you, Coco Bongo. I did not help you. There's Stephen Mendez. There's Yu Chang Yu. Eddie Wallace says, Jimmy leaning Bombers -10, a lot of points, but don't like this 2019 Lions squad without Wally running the show. No question about it. But I don't think the Bombers are that good. I've really cooled off on how the strength of this Bombers team. Their defense is good. Their defense is strong. I thought their offense would be better. And there's Gas Station Sushi. Ron Crawford swept the board yesterday. Amazing. And don't think we didn't notice your max bet on the Angels cash. Ron Crawford's on Winnipeg tonight in the CFL. I'm not sold on it. We'll see what Babano has to say. Let's get to work right now. Let's start with Mariners Tigers. We've already heard Hunter liking that first inning no score. Let's get these lineups going. Let's get these market moves going. And let's get to work. Malone Turnbull. Is it confirmed that Malone is going to start? Because I think that they're going to start, what's his name here? Sam Tuivailala. That's what I think who they're going to start. And he's only got 8 1/3. He'll just go to 1 inning, and then they'll bring in Tommy Malone. And that's important. That's imperative for that play, Hunter. I wonder if you know who's going to start in this spot. Now, if you do make a bet on this game and it says Tommy Malone, make sure it's an action bet. Because Tuivailala could easily come in there. 1-0, 2.16 ERA, 1.20 whip. Tommy Malone has not looked good lately, been getting hit very hard. 1-7, 4.70 ERA, 1.11 whip, 74 2/3, 68 Ks, 15 walks, 18 homers going up against Spencer Turnbull. 3.68 ERA, 1.33 whip, 98 Ks, 107 2/3, 42 walks, and 10 homers. Let's look at market moves here. Sportsbookreview.com here, where money lines and totals. Let's go to work. Oh, see here, now we have Whistler as the opener, not Tuivailala. Whistler as the opener. Oh, man, just things changing fast here. Open at -110, now -106. This total open heavily juiced to the under 9.5, -125, and now it's at 9. But Pinnacle's still hanging the 9.5, but a half run move down to 9. Interesting. And do we have lineups? Let's see. We don't have lineups at this point. Yes, we do have lineups. For the Mariners, Malik Smith, Crawford, Narvaez, Seager, Nola, Vogelbach, Lopez, Broxton, Moore. Reyes for the Tigers, Reyes, Lugo, Cabrera, Goodrum, Dixon, Castro, Demerit, Hicks, and Beckham. And Kevin Pine says, I see Whistler starting. Okay, yeah, you guys have it all right there. It is Whistler. And Whistler opening, Malone primary. There we go. Raymond Reichart said that Winnipeg -3.5 last week was insane. It was nuts. I was just very lucky. And, we're unlucky so often, so it's nice to get lucky. I didn't deserve that first quarter or first half with the Bombers. It was 2 punt returns, 4 touchdowns, and then that interception at the goal line to save the first half. It was very, very fortunate. And Jay's come saying it is Whistler. All right, let's talk about it. Mariners hitting 247, 770 OPS versus lefties. Kyle Seager getting hot, 383 with 7 home runs, 15 RBIs, past 17 games. Tigers hitting 231, 673 OPS versus righties. July 28th, Malone allowed 2 runs, 5 innings, getting a no decision against Detroit, but he's getting touched. He's not looked good. 3 of his past 5 have been bad. 3 home runs, 6 or fewer innings each time. In his last outing, went 4 innings, allowed 5 runs to the Rays. 4-1 with a 3.45 ERA in 10 career outings, but I just feel like he's susceptible. Spencer Turnbull hasn't recorded a win since May 31st, but it's not because he's been playing terrible. Past 9 appearances, the Tigers have been shut out 4 times. Scored 2 or fewer runs on 3 other occasions. So, I mean, he's just not getting any help. Last start, he held Kansas City to 2 runs, 3 at 6 innings, but lost 7-0. Pie Guy says, I have free CNE tickets anyways. Okay, I get that. Gas Station Sushi said, my overnight pick was the Reds' money line market move on the Cards. We're going to look at that. Eddie Oil says, Argonauts will actually have people in the park this week buy an Argos ticket getting to the CNE. Wow, I didn't know that. I've been to the Argos games during the CNE. I love it in the summertime. Yellow G said, Jimmy, any NHL preview shows in the near future? Not too near, but certainly, mid-September, definitely. Most definitely. Okay. Yu Cheng Yu says, going to lay off the Braves. Appreciate the advice. Jansen says, are we back in the 8th? Stroman today. I don't want to back them. Pie Guy said the Mets have hit Tehran their last 2 games, but Joe and he said, Jimmy, where are we sitting for the NFL game? We still haven't booked the tickets yet, Joe, because we are now giving out a ticket or 2 tickets to both the football game and the baseball game to people who have come to the hotel. We're going to do a draw, and I imagine it'll be on the Late Show, so we'll have the tickets purchased very, very soon. Steve Mendez says, I don't like the Seattle game. Could go either way. Well, the way I look at it, there's a pitching advantage. There's a batting advantage with the Mariners, sure, but they're on the road. And then I see a pitching advantage with the Tigers. So because of that, I think a first half Tigers play is something that I'd be interested in. Let's see what I'd get first half money line here. I'm getting a plus 103 at Bookmaker. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to take Tigers first 5. Yeah, Jeff Joseph, I thought the same thing about Owendale, but Owendale hadn't run in a while. It's going to be difficult. Antoine Seymour says, Jimmy, can I get in that draw? Antoine Seymour, I will copy and paste and ask my producers if that is possible, because right now they're hooking up people who are paying for the hotel as a little reward. But Antoine Seymour, we can't wait to hang with you, so I'll look into that for you, my guy. Okay, and Lamont Williams says max bet cash LA Dodgers run line. Yeah, very nice work there. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the Tigers first 5. Getting plus 103 here. Getting plus 103 at Bookmaker. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. All right, let's keep rolling. We have one more afternoon game on the docket. That's Bueller-Smith. And let's go. There's Brian Watson in the house. Justin Grammer said, did I hear tickets? Yes, Justin Grammer. At this point, it's for people who have booked hotels or hotel stays for our big low bag Summit of Champions in Miami. And there we go. Double Up says Tigers first 5, Seattle full game. That makes a lot of sense to me. Mally Mal says Jags ain't covering that. I think they are covering it. I'm with Ron Crawford on that. It's all about in preseason. It comes down to one thing in preseason, and we know it. Let me just pull up my notes. We know it. It comes down to one thing, and one thing only, motivation. The Jaguars lost 29-0. They have a new offensive coordinator. Now they're at home, and the Eagles could care less. And we're going to see a ton of, the way I see it, we know that Minshew is terrible, but we're going to see at least a couple drives from Foles, and I think the Jaguars have the motivation. I'm already on them, and I think that I'm quite confident in it. Spencer Rick saying, anyone got anything on Eagles-Jags game? I'll be at the game in Jacksonville. Got to get some bets in before I hit the tailgate. Yeah, Spencer, I'm on them. There's Comic Ricky in the house. Comic Ricky will be the first low bagger setting foot in Miami from out of town. Although we got a lot of low baggers in there. Okay, let's get back to work here. Okay. Cassius Thomas says, you've been on fire betting against the Astros. Do you like the A's tonight? I do like the A's, but I want to talk about it with you guys. Oh, and sorry, I needed to copy and paste Lamont Williams. Max bet Twins money line. That scares me very much. I need the Twins to lose. All right, copy and pasting that there. I need the Twins to lose. And obviously, fading the Astros is a very scary thing, but not nearly as scary on the road. Kyle Jack says, like the Jags as well. Justin Grammer says, Eagles need their roster fully enact, week one. Eileen Jags, I agree. Gas Station Stu said, Foles is out. That scares me. Wow, I thought that he was going to play a couple drives. Damn. If Foles is out, if he's not going to play at all. Wow, Oh, no, that's back in the day. Okay. All right, I got to get information on that. I got to get information on that right now. Okay. But thank you for letting me know, Gas Station Sushi. Jeff Toast said, I know he's one of yours, so if you like him, stay with him. Just think he'll be too far back, and they will not be going fast. But, I mean, so is Game Winner. They're both going to be far back. But, hey, you also like Channel Cat. Sorry to remind you. Yes. Gas Station Sushi says, under an Eagles Jags is a better bet, and it just might be. It just might be. I'm going to copy and paste that. Ronnie P says, love the Jags. Eagles don't care. That's the main thing, right? The Eagles just don't care at all. It means nothing to them. It means nothing to them. I'm going to go hammer this here quickly. Copy and paste. Sorry, we got to moving a little slowly right now. Catered to you by Chef Jeff, also liking that. And Yu Cheng Yu says, was going to be up so much last night if the White Sox didn't hit that freaking grand slam. I knew I was going to lose, though, when every Joe around me was rooting for the Astros. Oh, I don't like that either. Double Up says, take Eagles money line. Too much value to pass up. If they don't have no motivation to win, it's going to drive you absolutely crazy, Double Up. It's just going to drive you crazy. If you like Eagles, then take them early. Take them first half. Because come the second half, they're not going to care. They're just not going to care at all. Okay, let's keep rolling. Oh, there's Dom, 5-0-1 yesterday on his birthday. Dommy, baby. I love it. And Dom, I lost my voice yelling at Lucrative Larry on the sports keg. Topset says, I took Astros last night. I don't like hearing that if I'm going to make a move. But we'll talk about that game when we do. Let's talk Dodgers, Marlins right now. Let's see, do we have lineups confirmed? We do not. Let's go to market moves right now. Here we go, full game, money lines and totals, and let's get to work. And Big Ragoo's bet the under in Cincinnati, Washington. It's a very tricky game for me. And Gas Station Sushi saying, according to CBS Sports, Foles unlikely to play against the Eagles. Man. Tomore says the Eagles want to see what they have at running back with Sanders. They will likely run a lot. I bet the under at 35. Wow, for a big score, for a big plus money score. Raymond Reichart says Rangers the dog of the day. I thought so, but I don't like seeing Lamont Williams on Minnesota as his best bet. Okay, and then nothing worse than having the right cap and not winning the game, pushing under 10. I was thinking about you there. Yu Cheng Yu says, Jimmy, can I still get a room for Florida? Well, we had somebody just call, and the hotel said they were full, and I do not believe that, and we're going to look into that soon. Yu Cheng Yu, are you on Twitter? Let me know if you are on Twitter, Yu Cheng Yu, because I want to make sure that everybody gets hooked up. And Jeff Joe said, if there's no max security, I will definitely be going back to tax. Came out, Jim Dandy, super. Believe he's the now horse. I agree. I think he's the now horse, too. And Matt Randall, we got the taint play today. Here we go. Houston, Oakland, under 10. Expect a playoff-type atmosphere with two pitchers that are pitching well. Houston traveling from Chicago. Oakland bats are cold. Under 10 is the taint. Under 10 is the taint. And Yu Cheng Yu, you will be able to find someone to split. I bet. It's my guess. Here we go. I'm going to copy and paste that there. Here we go. No, Jansen, no, because it's the $35 resort fee. You got to get that slash. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to look it over. Big Lou in the house says took over 7.5 in the Dodgers game. All right, let's go. Dodgers, Marlins. And what a beatdown this has been so far. What a crazy beatdown by these Dodgers. Dodgers opened up at minus 255. There's been a 5-cent move to Caleb Smith and the Marlins. This total opened at 7.5, juice to the under. It's now way more juice to the under. In fact, 5 Dimes has moved it to 7. So is Heritage and Intertops. Heritage and Intertops has moved it to 7. All right. Tomino said Jags aren't playing starters. They had a lot of injuries in preseason. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little more... And the Hotel Diplomat will magically sell out. I knew the old GM. Interesting, Bookie Lover Q. I think that we're going to... and Mally Mouse says Jags won't cover. You know what? One team cares, one team doesn't care. That's what it comes down to me. But we'll talk more about that moving forward. Okay, Bueller versus Caleb Smith. Bueller 10-2, 3.08 ERA, 1.00 whip. Caleb Smith 7-6, 3.71 ERA, 1.11 whip. Hunter Engelhardt says if the first half gets to 4, I think I'm going to take the first half over. Cassius Thomas on Dodgers team total over the play. That just keeps cashing. When is that going to stop cashing is the question. And this is at 3.5 right now, over 3.5. But there is a 4 at bookmaker. There's a 4 at bookmaker and a 4 at Bovada for the first half. Antoine Seymour says, Jimmy, Dodgers get money. They keep rolling here. Kershaw put on a clinic last night. Struck out the first 7 batters. Unbelievable. Double Up says, Dodgers money line and full game over parlay. All right. Let's get to work here. Dodgers hitting 253, 774 OPS versus lefties. Marlins are hitting 237, 665 OPS versus righties. Yu Cheng Yu, yeah, please do get a Twitter account because we have a Miami group there. So that's where we're doing all of our stuff. Serious Business has the Dodgers team total over 4.5. CT Base says Smith at plus 225. I'm in. I think if you're in CT Base, it might be better to take the first 5. Bookie Lover Q says, meaning only certain amount of rooms will be discounted. The rest will be retail prices. No, we've been told that we can still get them. So I'm going to look into that, Yu Cheng Yu, and we'll figure that out. And Mally Mouse says that Miami under 2.5 was money yesterday. It certainly was. All right, the Dodgers are rolling, going for their 3-game sweep here, won 6 straight series. Dodgers have outscored the Marlins 24-2 in 2 games, slugging 10 homers. Justin Turner, 4 home runs in 3 games. Buehler has allowed 1 run over his past 2 starts, 15 innings. He's faced the Marlins 3 times in his career, 1-0 with a 2.12 ERA. But the last time he faced the Marlins, 5 hits, 7 scoreless, looked very good. Smith has been effective at Marlins Park. Caleb 5-2 with a 3.46 ERA. And he's a lefty. So the right-handed bats hit him harder, and we have Justin Turner as a tough right-handed bat. Ron Crawford says, check Dodgers lineup. It's a rest day. That's what I thought, but I only could see the expected lineup. Let's see if we have I still just have an expected lineup. But even in that expected lineup, we have Chris Negron and Kyle Garlick. So I would like to look at like a first 3. Let me just take a look at what a first 3. I'm going to have to go to my book here. I talked about this on the Kegcast last night. Let's go. All right, we're at the Dodgers game here. Let's go first 3 innings. No, they have. Oh, yeah, 3. Wait, no, man. They have not listed. They have a first 3 innings total. Oh, they have a 3 innings run line. Marlins plus 1.5. That's not. That sucks. What about Marlins to score first? Even that I don't really trust. There's Nut Flush in the house. Says love the first half over in Bucks Dolphins, counting on Fitzpatrick getting in. I'm already on the full game over there, Nut Flush. I love that look that you're on. Tomino says the best value in this series has been Dodgers team total over. I'd lean over at 4.5. I don't know. Big Ragu says they smashed yesterday, ready for the plane ride. Yeah, I agree with that, Big Ragu. And Tomo's on the Bucks and the over. And Eddie Oler says Walker Buehler sounds like he wants to pitch amazing today. Makes me want to go back and look at this. Viper says Dodgers first 5 minus a half is minus 157 for me. Yikes. I wonder what the Dodgers. Let me take a look at what the first 5 for the Marlins is right now. I'm going to go first half money line for the Marlins. It's not something I'm just going to jump at right now. And Lamont Williams says Twins Texas full game over 11.5. Race to 3 runs, neither, I dare you. Oh, wow. That'd be a wild score. All right, let's see if we get what the plus a half for the Marlins would be. Plus a half at 148. I mean, that's pretty appealing. There's Drew Daddy in the house. That is pretty appealing. Plus 148 against this weak lineup. Let's just quickly look at what Caleb Smith has done in the last couple games here. Here we go. See what gas station suit said Donnie and Whale love the over in the Bucks Fins game 43. Yeah, and I tailed it. All right, and Thomas says Bucks Thursday and Griffin was great. Yeah, he threw 43 passes. It was nuts. Okay, here we go. I'm going to grab right now, take a quick look at what Caleb Smith has done in the last couple games because you know what? With this weak Dodgers lineup, the Marlins have something to play for that the Dodgers don't. Here we go. So he's at home against Atlanta. He gets touched. And he was at home against Arizona and he gets touched. Yeah, He's not looked very good of late. I can't do it. I'm interested in it, but I'm not going to do it. All right, I'm not going to take the Marlins plus a half. I just don't find that too appealing. All right, let's move on to the night games. We'll start with Indians at Yankees. Indians 10 games over 500 on the road. The Yankees 40 games over 500 right now. 78 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour in. Adam Plutko versus Chad Green. Plutko 4-3, 4.68 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. Chad Green 2-3, 4.69 ERA, 1.40 WHIP. And Mally Mal says Miami is getting swept. Bookie Lover Q says DeMarcus Cousins just hurt his knee in practice, and so is Drew Daddy. Wow. Wow. And Tomor says Smith gets hit by good lineups. Dodgers hit with anyone in the lineup. I agree, Tomor. That's well put. All right, let's go. And GT Randy saying Mets Braves first 5 in full game over. That's an interesting look. Thinks both Teheran and Stroman will get touched enough. Oh, wow. And Rich G said Smeltzer scratched in the Twins game. Pineda now. Oh, wow. Thank you for letting us know, Rich G. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste this quickly. All right. GT Randy liking the over there. Okay, so Chad Green will pitch the opener. He's done this 11 times, and he's looked good. He's looked much better than his numbers show. He's 1.80 ERA in these 11 starts. He last pitched nightcap Monday's doubleheader, got the first 4 batters out, and then was done. Ramirez is starting to roll. Since, I shouldn't say he's been rolling since the All-Star break. 313 batting average. Also, Yasiel Puig will be back from his suspension. 357 average since being acquired from Cincinnati. Cleveland heads to the Bronx, winning 9 of their past 13. They're 43-19 since June 14th. And Gas Station 2 says Jags first team offense are not playing at all tonight. Oh, God. I do not like hearing that. There's Elliot Fee in the house. Kevin Pine says hoping for an Indian sweep versus the Yanks. I'm on under 11. Let's take a look at what the market move is here. We're going to go to full game. Money lines and totals. And I can't believe I lost my voice screaming at Larry on the sports keg. Here we go. The Yankees open up at minus 155. There's been a 3-cent move towards them. This total opened up at 11, under 11 at minus 120. It's now under 11, minus 119. But Bookmaker and Bovada have gone to 10.5. What's the wager doing with it? No, but Bet365 has also gone to 10.5, and so has William Hill. Mally Mal laughing, saying Indians not sweeping us. It is a bullpen day for the Yankees, yes. A bullpen day, but do we trust Plutko? That's the question. Yanks are 8-1 in their past 9 home games against teams with winning records. 40 games over 500 for the first time since 2009. 13-2 in their past 15. Plutko pitched last Saturday, 4-1 loss at Minnesota. 4 runs, 9 hits, 6 innings. Not bad. Not that bad against a tough Twins lineup. Faced the Yankees for the first time in his career, June 8th. 2 runs, 3 hits, 6 innings. Looked good. Matt Randall has a tennis play. Sabalenka on the money line. Torminas has said lean over. Plutko is trash on the road. Yankees bullpen has been inconsistent last month. I get it. Christopher Comtine says, yeah, no Jags first team, not even backups playing. Oh, God. Awful. That feels like now I guess the money line for the Eagles is in play. That's awful news for me. All right, let's take a look at Plutko. Let's take a quick look at him and see what he's done of late. See what he does on the road. Let's go over all this quickly. Here we go. Adam Plutko. On the road, he has a 5.47 ERA. Not good. Only 16 Ks and 26 in the third. His last road start was at Minnesota. He looked fine. One before that was at KC, and he looked okay. 3 earned runs and 5 in the third. Before that, at Baltimore, they touched him. At Texas, only got to 4 in the third. And then at Detroit, he made it through 6. Eric Jones in the house. Pink Eye Genie says Jags under a play now. God, no. Can you take that at 34? I mean, the time to take the under's over, I think. But, all right. So I'm not going to make a move. Indians, Yankees, I'm not going to make a move. I've got the Indians at plus 1,100 to win the division, and I'm not going to make a move here. And Ron Crawford says, why is Jackson -3 not moving? That's a good question. Why is Jacksonville -3 not moving? Because it isn't. Still -3. I'm going to take a quick look at the move here at Pinnacle. I mean, from 2 days ago, it was minus 113. But you know what? In fact, money's come in on Jacksonville. At 4:39 a.m., it was minus 3 and minus 101. So, all right. Let's keep rolling along right now. Let's go Cubs at Phillies, 80 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour, sideways. Darvish versus Smiley. Let's take a look at market moves. Here, let's take a look at market moves here. All right. Darvish opening up at minus 130, now at minus 144. That's pretty much the same move that had already happened last night, so that nothing really has happened in the last 12 hours or so. This total opened up at 9.5, juice to the over. It's coming back, but just a 5-cent move. Still over 9.5 at minus 115. All right. Drew Smiley has looked good as a Philly, but he's looked bad this year, and I think he is coming back to earth. And Jose Ruiz still says Jaguars cover. Eddie Euler says, can you really trust the Jacksonville Jaguars? No. No, I can't anymore. I thought we were going to get at least a peek at Foles. Not good. But Drew Smiley, 1-1, 3.80 ERA, 1.10 whip. I think he's coming back to earth now after his last start. He got touched in his last start. He looked very good. And we backed him early when he was with the Phillies, and we made money off of it. But here, I think the Cubs have a big advantage. And the big advantage to me is first 5, Darvish versus Smiley. Double Up says Cubs on the road are an auto fade no matter who's pitching. I agree. And Ron Crawford says Cubs spreadsheet play, and I agree. Jordan Elmquist says Cubs suck on the road, but Smiley's been awful all season. ERA FIP approaching 7. I agree with that completely. Jeff Joseph says, how about flying me down for Breeders' Cup? You and I discussing and picking all the Breeders' Cup races. Talk to the powers that be. It would be awesome and a lot of fun. I like that idea, Jeff. I like that idea. I will pitch it for sure. Jose Ruiz says Cubs will hit Smiley. Tormino says, I'm on the Cubs team total over. I got a 5. Smiley regressing. Cubs have faced tough pitching recently. I like it. Boogie Lover Q says Philadelphia new hitting coach Charlie Manuel has Hoskins leading off. It worked. Lean over 10. There's Tease in the house. Nice to have you back, Tease. I think the Cubs get one here. Take a look at what we're dealing with. First off, Pinnacle's changed their whole, interface, whatever it's called, and I'm not liking it. So I've moved to Heritage right now for team totals, which sucks because I prefer Pinnacles. But I'm getting 5.5 at plus 100 for the Cubs. I don't like that. But I am going to back the Cubs here. Nothing Ordinary says NFL Philly, MLB Philly. Big Ragu liking New York plus 103 and the under. Steve Cordero says Cubs smash today. I agree. Okay, I'm going to make moves on the Chicago Cubs right now. First off, first 5, I'm going to take a -0.5. And I'm going to get minus 105 at Bookmaker. So here we go, Cubs. First 5, -0.5, minus 105. And then I'm going to take, we didn't put up the baseball record after a 4-3 day. Rafa, do you mind popping up the baseball record? No, I guess not. Okay. All right. Cubs, full game on the -1 line. Rafa, could you put up the baseball record for me? Thank you. Here we go. Cubs, full game, money line. There we go. It's not good. Not good, but still time to turn it around. Okay. Cubs money line, I'm getting a -141 at Pinnacle. Cubs -1 at -141. And then, that's the money line at -141. And then the -1.5. There we go. -1.5 here. Full game, point spreads, -1.5. I'm getting plus 110. Plus 110. Just 50 cents, but I'll still do it. 51 cents. -1.5 is plus 110. Okay. All right, let's keep rolling. Jose Ruiz says Cubs run line is a great play. Eddie Euler says Darvish gave up 3 home runs last time out. I get it. Mally Mal on the over, the full game over. Let's see what that is. Full game over, totals. I think that might be a nice look, Mally. And Lamont Williams, much love to you. Thank you for stopping by. I've got your max bet, and I will share that with everybody. Okay, here we go. The over. Open it. Oh, yeah, I've already talked about it. There's just a 5-cent move towards the under. See what the weather is quickly. 80 Fahrenheit, 8 miles per hour sideways. Justin Grammer says, no way I'm betting the Cubs with this bullpen. I get that. But I'm going to stick here. I'm going to stick with this. I'm not going to mess with the total at this point. Eddie Ois says, Charlie Manuel and Darvish 3 home runs scares me off Cubs. I get it. And Jose Ruiz says, my dog of the day is Seattle once again. All right. Babano's going to be joining us shortly. Let's see if we can get through another game. Let's go Cardinals, Reds, Waka versus Gray. Waka versus Gray. Let's look at money lines and totals here for Waka versus Gray. And here we are. Opens at 9.5. Minus 110 has not changed. The Reds open up at minus 146. There's been a 7-cent move towards the Cincinnati Reds. And that's interesting that I thought Gas Station Sushi was saying there was a move towards the Cardinals. So I don't have that here. Let's see if let's see what Pinnacle has done. Yeah, there's been a 2-cent move even at Pinnacle. But earlier this show, so sorry, that's just happening now. He's right. Like when this show started, there'd been a 3-cent move towards from the opening line, a 3-cent move towards the Cardinals, but there'd been a 14-cent move from 9 p.m. last night till 7 a.m. this morning towards the Cardinals. So he's right. He's absolutely right. Okay. Sean Glass on Cincy first 5 under. Joseph Gomez saying Dave LA is on the Reds. Christopher Comentini's on Reds team total over first 5. And Top Set took the under in the Reds game last night. Cards won 7 of 11 in this meeting. Waka versus Gray. Waka 6-5, 5.54 ERA, 1.65 WHIP, 89 and third, 72 Ks, 42 walks, 21 home runs. Not looking good. Ron Crawford says love the Reds. Sonny Gray 7-6, 3.10 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, 144 Ks and 127 and 2/3. He's just coming back. Thomas says I think Gray should be minus 170. Cards are trash on the road. Offense doesn't hit consistently. Cards are hitting 243, 716 OPS versus righties. They just don't hit. Reds are hitting 247, 750 OPS versus righties. Reds lost 17-7 yesterday. Astridis Aquino hit another home run, 9 in 13 games. Freddie Galvis looks great. CT Bays on the Reds money line. Well, here, I mean, to me, the advantage is taking the Reds first 5 and isolating the Sonny Gray Waka matchup. And that's how I think I will handle this. Let me make a move here. You go first half. See what I'm getting first half on the minus a half. Getting minus 120. Minus a half, minus 120. Jose Ruiz says Cardinals have value, Waka and better team. Thomas says I'd lean under, but I don't trust Waka. Jermel Wright says inconsistent bats on the Cards. I'd lean Reds first 5. And there's Jay Dapp in the house. Jay Dapp. And do I think, sadly, Jay Dapp, we don't have Oshak here, and we all miss him and love him very, very much. Guillermo says, how about you, Ragu, and Jeff come down to Santa Anita for the Breeders' Cup? If I wasn't in Costa Rica, I go to Santa Anita every time they host the Breeders' Cup. I've been there at least the last 4 times they've hosted the Breeders' Cup. Jay Scum said, I took the Cards. They're hot, and the Reds are not. Chris Kaiser with a big parlay. Giants money line, Philly money line, Braves run line, Oakland A's first 5 money line. You know, I'm still going to I'm going to take the Reds first 5 minus a half. First 5 minus a half at minus 120. That's how I'm going to handle things. T saying, I agree, Jimmy, Reds first 5 is the play. Eric Swell says, have we talked about football yet? We have, sort of, but we haven't gone over each game, and we will do that. We will do that on this show. We will do that on this show. Okay, let's move on. Brandon Lugo says, Reds lost 4 in a row, 7 games under 500, and laying large juice. No thanks. I hear that. Okay, and Tomar says, everyone looks good against Kansas City. I get that too. I'm not saying the Reds are going to win this game outright. I'm saying that the first 5, I just think they have a clear advantage with Gray going up against Waka. Okay. Let's move on to Mets at Braves. Stroman, Teheran. Teheran's one of those pitchers that I trust more than it seems like everybody else. Stroman has not looked good in his 2 starts. And I just think the Braves are a dangerous ball club. And they know that if they deal with the Mets right now, they might not have to deal with them in the playoffs. Matt Randall says, see my above message. Says 2 teams going in 2 different directions. Be careful betting this Reds team. I'm going to make a move. There's Eric Swells in the house. We will talk about football. Promise. All right, let's talk here. Mets, Braves. The total opened at 10, and Pinnacles pushed it up to 10.5. That says a lot right there. Tehran opening up at -123, now -124. Pie Guy says, I like Tehran, but the Mets smash him. Justin Grammer says, anyone see McGregor punch that old dude in the bar? I saw that, the title, but I didn't click on it. Christopher Comentine says, Reds lost to the Nats, no shame there. And Eric Jones, yes, the taint play today is in. The taint play today is the Houston-Oakland under 10. And there's Alex Ramirez. We're going to have a spotty play today. Okay, Stroman, Tehran. Let's break this down. Sorry, let me get to my notes. And here they are. So, Tehran, 7-7, 3.35 ERA, 1.28 whip, 137 innings, 126 Ks. Mets are hitting 248, 746 OPS versus righties. Braves are hitting 262, 796 OPS versus righties. 50 points better OPS against righties of Braves compared to the Mets. Stroman has looked good in 2 starts against the Braves, but who cares? You know, 1 in 2017, 1 in 2018. Who cares about that? Stroman's made 2 starts with the Mets. He does not have a decision. 7 runs and 10 in the third. Tehran's been pitching at a high level. Man, in the last 7 starts, 2-1, 1.91 ERA. You know, Elliot V liking over full game. Brandon Lugo talking about McNeil strained hammy. And Ragu on the under 9.5 in the St. Louis game. You know what? I feel like there's value on the Braves. Jansen saying, however, this may be a spot for Stroman pitching away from New York. Double Up says Atlanta's a better team, period. And they're the better team even with these injuries. You know? So, Tehran's faced the Mets more than anyone. 10-8, 2.68 ERA. Now, he's had a bad spot against them this year. But I like him. No McNeil for the Mets. He's batting .332. Dansby Swanson's going to be out longer than we thought. Austin Riley not there. T says, Jimmy, you sound like you're getting sick. It's not that. I lost my voice on the sports keg screaming at Larry for like 2 or 3 minutes, just for a laugh. I lost my voice for a laugh. The dumbest shit I could possibly do right before Miami. Mally Mouse says, what's the line for this game? The Braves right now are at, where is it? Are at -125, so just a 1 cent move in the last few minutes. So I'm going to jump on this Brave squad. I'm going to take them on the -1 line. So that is a Braves money line of -125 is the best I can get. So here we go. Braves -1. Braves -1. So that's a money line of -125 and a -1.5 line of the point spreads. Yeah, it was stupid, Tease. It was fucking stupid. Kyle Jackson says Braves covered tonight. I think the Braves take care of business here. I'm getting a -1.5 at +155. Beautiful. That's at Heritage and 5 times. Ooh, that's what I'd like to see. +155. There you go. Book it. Book it. Okay, so we have Ian Cameron ready to rock and roll, representing Steel Town, coming to us live from Hamilton on this Thursday morning. Babano, my guy, how you doing?
There we go. I'm doing excellent. How are you?
I'm good. I was screaming last night at Lucrative Larry on the Kegcast, and what an idiot I am. I'm like losing my voice now. Very stupid. Very, very stupid. But I'm feeling good.
Save that for next week. What are you thinking? What could you possibly be thinking? What good can come of you using your voice in that manner? Just days before you're basically going to be screaming at the top of your lungs ad nauseum for a week straight down in MIA. Come on.
I know it was short-sighted. I was on the sauce, Babano. I was drinking, and it was very short-sighted. But it's Thursday. I only have 3 more shows after this. 4, including the Audible. and then I'll have 48 hours, get my voice back. I'll be good to go. All right, Babano, let's get right after it. We've got a CFL game we're going to talk about late. I do want to touch on some NFL games with you before we put a bow on this, but right now we want to focus on baseball, and there are 2 afternoon games, Mariners at Tigers and Dodgers at Marlins. You have any look on either?
These 2 games, well, let's start with the Mariners. It's a team that this is a weird series. Obviously, you got 2 really bad baseball teams here. We got opener going for Seattle. We've got Turnbull for Detroit. It's probably would lean a little bit to Detroit at this price. I don't mind Turnbull at times. It looks like it's going to be Whistler, by the way, going for the Seattle Mariners, at least as the opener for this game against the Tigers. I lean a little bit to Detroit there. We've got Buehler and Smith in the Dodgers Marlins game. I kind of like Caleb Smith. I don't mind backing him at home, but he's also had some rougher performances at times when he's had to step up in class, so to speak, against some of the better lineups. He's kind of struggled at times against them, and we know the Dodgers are one of those teams. That being said, Caleb Smith's a lefty. And what have I always said about the Dodgers over the past is that maybe their one Achilles heel, the one chink in their armor is they're not always a consistent, reliable lineup going up against Southpaws. So maybe this does open the door for Smith to have a decent start against them. I would be more inclined to look at Miami first 5 innings rather than full game. We know there's a bullpen issue at times with that team. So I don't really have any wagers, Jimmy, but if I had to throw out leans, I'd go Tigers full game, and I'd probably go Miami first 5.
I almost took Miami first 5 plus a half, but I decided not to just because of what you were saying, how he's been touched a little bit of late. But I did take the Tigers first 5 plus 103. Tigers first 5 plus 103. I want to isolate the Turnbull, Whistler, Malone combination, and that's what I did there. But I came close to taking the Marlins first 5 plus a half, and I decided not to. But nice breakdowns on those 2 games. We're moving at a brisk pace. I love it. But Bono, talk to me about your late card.
Oh, we got to, and I'm reminding myself before the call came that, hey, I got to pick up the pace this week. We got lots to break down. Next up, we've got, let's see what we're going to look at. I'm going to ride Mr. Sanchez again here for the Houston Astros, believe it or not. Minus 120 against Oakland. No, it cannot, not always easy to go against Fires at the Coliseum. Is very good numbers there this season. Maybe Sanchez at some point is going to revert into Aaron Sanchez of the Toronto Blue Jays for the first half of the season before that trade happened. But right now, you can't argue with the results. Right now, he's been all the quotes are positive too from Sanchez, saying, I feel, a little extra energy, some adrenaline. I feel like a little extra, something going in his veins now that he's a member of the Houston Astros and obviously a World Series contending ball club. And it's been a good little run for him now here with the Astros. And what I like too is you get Houston probably in a bad mood. I mean, you lose 2 games to the Chicago White Sox, a team that's not very good the last couple of days. I think that leaves the Astros, now that they're going back inside the division here, divisional game. I think you get them really wanting to step up, get back in the win column here. Again, I don't really have a lot bad to say about Fires, especially at home. He's pitched well for this Oakland Athletics team. Oakland with a really nice win yesterday against the Giants. They got the bats going against the very easy to hit, in my opinion, Tyler Beatty in that game yesterday. They beat him up in that game. But I think it's going to be a little tougher for them against Houston. I like the spot here for Houston. Sanchez has been good. Give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he can keep this little run going. I don't know, and I don't think it's going to last forever. But give me one more good start, Aaron, and I'll be happy. We'll go with the Astros, a short road chalk tonight.
Interesting look. I think Sanchez is going to have a nice little end to the season. Shout out to Guru Sports Bets in the house. He is our Oakland A's expert. He says, how do you not take Fires as a dog at home? And Fires has been very good, but I find we know from up north that Sanchez is better than what he showed in the first half of the year. And that's why it's exactly why, the Astros brain trust wanted to get him, and I get it. I get it. I think Sanchez, we've seen him at, what was it, 2017 or was it 2016? I can't remember the year he led the AL in ERA. We know he's capable of it. But Fires has just looked so good of late. And
let's keep in mind, people in the chat, and people in the chat, Jimmy, are saying, how do you not take Oakland here with Fires on this tremendous win streak with him on the mound, or Oakland, I should say, on this tremendous win streak with him on the mound. He's pitched great at home. How many times lately have you gotten Houston minus 120? It just hasn't happened very often. You're seeing this Astros team laying minus 200 or more in a lot of games as of late. You got a rare opportunity to take them at this price. I know there's that thought process that, kind of like what we're seeing with the New York Yankees or what we might see with the Yankees teams like this. They're maybe just going through the motions, just, putting it on cruise control until the playoffs get here. But I think after they lost a couple of games to the Chicago White Sox, that there's going to be just a little bit more, I guess, incentive, a little bit more interest in a game like this, a regular season game like this for Houston, trying to get back in the win column. And we'll see if Sanchez can get. I've been impressed with Sanchez. So you give Houston a little bit of edge still with their bats in a matchup like this. So at the price and the spot, considering I think you're going to see a step up type of game for Houston, I'll take them.
I get it. We have and Ron Crawford spreadsheet plays Minnesota Cubs, Dodgers, Arizona. What do you think about this total moving from 9.5 to 10? Opened at 9.5, and it was actually juiced at the under 9.5. And now we see 10s on the board. It's the taint play of the day is the under 10 from our guy Matt Randall. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I would definitely only think of the under in this game. You've got Fiers has been outstanding in this ballpark. He's been pretty good overall, but especially here in Oakland. You got to like the way Aaron Sanchez has pitched. We know the Houston lineup is lethal. They're potent. They can explode at any moment. They're always a very they're a lineup that will concern and scare and have under bettors and have them biting their fingernails late in games. I get it, but you're dealing with a 10. In terms of the total here for this game tonight, although it is showing that it might go down to 9.5. It's dropped to 9.5 at Heritage. But if you can get a 10, I like the form of both of these pitchers right now. The under makes sense.
Yeah, it's been jumping from 10.5 to 9 at Pinnacle. Pinnacle opened it up at 9.5, brought it down to 9, then stuck at 9.5, and then it's been 10. It was 10 all morning, and now down to 9.5. Interesting that Pinnacle has done that, and the other books are hanging it at 10. That to me makes me think that this is a move here to make. Yeah, I think it's a move that's worth taking. And but would you prefer a first 5 under rather than a full game under because of the questions surrounding this A's bullpen?
That's all. You know what? I will never tell anyone don't take a first 5 under instead of full game under. In 2019 MLB. I just won't do it because we've seen it time and time again with bullpen meltdowns, bullpen implosions. We saw back-to-back bullpen implosions just as an example in the Milwaukee-Minnesota series. The Brewers gave it up on Tuesday night. The Twins bullpen gives it up yesterday in the afternoon game between those two teams. That's just two of examples right there that you could be cruising. Look at the Braves-Mets game last night. What was that, 1-0 going into the 7th inning? You have a total of 10 and you bet that thing under and you get a push when it's all said and done. Game finishes 6-4, right on 10 runs. That's brutal. I know you didn't lose, but that's a brutal push. It was 1-0 going into the 7th inning of that damn game. And you don't have a winning ticket to show for it. No argument whatsoever. Anybody thinking first 5 under instead of full game under. Very difficult to trust many bullpens right now at this stage of the MLB era that we're living in.
I'm in. I'm taking the first 5 under 5.5. I'm getting minus 109 at Pinnacle. First 5 under 5.5 at minus 109. And there's our guy, Maxwell Smart, in the house. Maxie, I lost my voice screaming at Lucrative Larry last night on the Sports Kick, man, and missed you not being on the show. All right, I'm in. First 5 under 5.5, minus 109. And I do have a lean towards the A's. And I'll see if I pull the trigger. I'll wait a little bit longer. What's next?
What's next? Let's take a look. We've got, let's see here. We've got Minnesota and Texas. High total, I get it. But Pineda, I don't trust on the road, especially. I don't trust him. I don't trust him in Texas. He gives up a lot of hard contact, fly ball, extra base hits have been his problem at times this season. That's not usually a good fit for that Texas ballpark. On the flip side, I like the Twins lineup. Twins lineup has been hitting good. They hit well in the Milwaukee series. They only lost yesterday because the bullpen stinks. So I think they're going to hit Payano here for this Texas Rangers team. The Texas bullpen is not very good. And Minnesota's bullpen, it's not very good right now. I mean, every game now, it seems, with the Twins, doesn't matter who is coming in relievers, May, Duffy, any of these guys. You see Dyson in there. Doesn't matter who they're throwing in there in that bullpen. It is a nervous time of it for Minnesota getting outs late in games in the latter innings right now. And so Texas might be able to do some damage against not only Pineda, but a Twins bullpen that was overworked, by the way, quite a bit in that Milwaukee series. That's pretty tired and fatigued in terms of all the arms they've had to use going into this game today. Total has gone up from 11.5 to 12. I got 11.5. Even at 12, I'll recommend it. It hasn't moved enough for me to get off it. We'll go over the total. I think it's going to be one hell of a big-time slugfest down there in Texas tonight.
That's a nice breakdown. That's a nice breakdown. Question, Babano. I have $125 on the Indians to win the AL Central at plus 1100. Right now at Bet365, it's a pick 'em to win the division. If I gave you a free play, or how about this? Let's not even say free play. If you were sitting on a ticket like I am, would you put $500 on the Twins right now to win the division? They have a very easy schedule, 26 games against the Royals, Tigers, and White Sox, where the Indians only have 17 against those foes. And the Indians are going to have 4 games in the Bronx right now and then head to Citi Field for 3. What would you do? Would you put 500 on the Twins right now to win the division?
From a value standpoint, you can only bet Minnesota now. The time from a value standpoint to bet Cleveland was a month and a half ago, before they made this run to catch Minnesota for first in the AL Central. If you're talking about a strict value bet right now, where's the value lie in terms of this division race? And you mentioned it in terms of schedule analysis for the last month and a half of the season. It's a little bit more tougher meat on the bone for the Cleveland Indians in the last month and a half of the regular season than there is for the Minnesota Twins. And right now, after Indians have caught Minnesota, the value now sliding to Minnesota to win the division. Just from a value standpoint, I'm not saying I would do it. I probably wouldn't right now because I like the momentum Cleveland's going with right now, and I don't like the pitching for Minnesota. But from a value standpoint, if we're talking value strictly, I would only look at Minnesota to win the division right now.
Gonna have to figure out what to do there. And
if that makes any damn bit of sense, because I think Cleveland's winning the division, but I'm just saying from a value standpoint right now, in terms of the pricing of that divisional future, Minnesota's got the value right now, because the value with Cleveland was a month ago, not now.
Oh, and we hammered it. We all hammered it and got in a nice spot. Donnie right side hammered it as well. I think he got it at plus 700, just like maybe a week after we jumped on it at plus 1100. So we're all cheering heavy. And this total, it keeps getting hammered. It's being bet as we speak. It's now 12 across the board, and it's getting bet as we speak, this Minnesota-Texas spot. Okay, there's some still games that we haven't broken down, but is there another game on your card?
Yeah, I was leaning Mets, but you know what? I'm going to stay off the Mets. I think Stroman's the kind of guy that I like, the Bulldog mentality, the go-get-it mentality for him. It's a big game. We've lost a few in a row finally. The Mets magic is starting to wear off just a little bit. They did win 2 or 3 at home against Washington in that first. Okay, now we're playing a good team series. But lose the first 2 games of this series now against Atlanta. I was on the Mets 2 nights ago. I was on them again last night. I'm not going to go back to that well. Tonight, it just gets that sense that maybe that Mets magic's starting to wear off. I'm still leaning that in their direction, because I think Stroman is the kind of guy you would want in a spot like this, trying to stop a losing streak. However, I can't take anything away from Tehran either. Tehran has actually been a lot better as of late. You look at the Mets; this lineup's very good, but telling you what, missing McNeil at the top of that lineup, that's a bigger absence for the Mets than I think some people might believe. He's a table setter. He's usually a good, reliable hitter in terms of being able to get on base for guys behind him in that lineup, like Rosario, like Alonso, like Conforto. Not having him out there is a little bit of a blow to Mickey Callaway's lineup on a day-in, day-out basis. And you just haven't seen the Mets in these first couple of games maybe swing the bats quite as well. And their bullpen, which has been so much better of late, they're starting to, suffer some lumps again in recent games. And, this Atlanta team's good. I mean, 71-50, you're not that record by accident. And the Mets have not yet proven in this series that they're capable of stepping up against this Braves team. I don't know if I trust them tonight. I lean Mets, but I didn't get there with a wager.
Yeah, I'm backing Tehran and the Braves, but I agree completely with the way Tomarino looks at Stroman being such an emotional pitcher and how this could be a nice spot. Let's talk. Oh, Red Girl cashed WNBA. I took it right in the drink hole in WNBA last night, man. Okay, let's go. So I'm looking at, and everybody knows exactly what I'm going to say here when we talk White Sox Angels. My boy Ronaldo Lopez is on that. Here's another pitcher who's much better than his numbers lay out for you. And we have this White Sox team that just gave the Astros a tough series. And they smashed lefties. And I like Lopez. I like him a lot. Jimenez is smashing. 11th rookie franchise history. They had 20 home runs. Lopez has been pitching well. 6 hits over 6 1/3 scoreless on Saturday against the A's. You know, and then there's Heaney, second outing since being sidelined with the shoulder inflammation. You know, he's not going to go long. They're going to go right to their bullpen. Is this let's see what Dom's saying about the Mets. I'm on Mets tonight. Stroman's pitched well in this last outing. Was his first home start. Overhyped throwing up. Still pitched 4 scoreless before error rattled him. Mets always hit the error on. Okay, I don't like seeing that. Not flush on the under. Do we back the White Sox here at a big plus money line?
You want to lay minus 160 with the Angels?
Yeah.
That's your alternative. That's your alternative. I sure as hell am not going to do that. And you're right about the White Sox. They did battle the Houston Astros pretty good. I'm just not at all a big Ronaldo Lopez guy. That would be my one little bit of trepidation going into this game in terms of wanting to back the White Sox. But I'll tell you right now, it'd be White Sox plus price way before I lay anything with the LA Angels right now. It's a team playing monotonous baseball, 59 and 63. They've been absolutely awful for the last month of the season. Hell, you know, the Pittsburgh Pirates even got out of their funk a little bit facing this LA Angels team. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are bad as it gets, you know, for the last couple of months. So there's no incentive, nothing that I see in the LA Angels team right now that's going to say, there's a team I want to lay minus 160 with. You can do that, not me. I don't love Lopez, and I don't love the spot either. You're going out west. You played a big series against Houston, and you kind of got yourself pumped up for it. It feels like it could be a little bit of a flat situation here for the White Sox. But I'll tell you right now, I probably will have some kind of White Sox bet in hand before first pitch. It won't be a big one because I'm not a big Lopez guy. But this price is nuts. You got to look Chicago or nothing here, in my opinion.
I'm making a move right now. 2 moves. Great call in the chat. Who said the team told Brandon Lugo? I'm gonna double up here. I'm gonna take the White Sox instead of going first 5 full game. I'm just gonna take the White Sox full game. I like the White Sox bullpen. Love the way Bummer's throwing. I'm gonna take plus 149. That's available at UWager and 5 dimes. So I'm gonna take the White Sox money line here at plus 149. So let's go plus 149, and then I'm gonna take this heavily juiced team total over 3.5. That's definitely not going to be there when it ends minus 3.5 or over 3.5 at what is it here at minus 140. Heavily juiced. I don't care. I'm going to take it over 3.5 at minus 140. 78 Fahrenheit clear, 6 miles per hour out to center. This White Sox team feels good about themselves, and this is a nice place. Elliot V says Trout will root the White Sox. Then I still think I'll hit my team total over against Heaney, who's going to be going short. Then they're going to go into the bullpen. But Elliot V saying, "Oh my God, no!"
And it's not good. The Angels bullpen's not very good. That's the thing. He will be on a pitch count once again. There's only a second start back from the IL. He's not going to go deep. You're going to get a lot of Angels bullpen in this game. So opportunities late for the White Sox.
And then we will have capped each and every one of these games as soon as we talk about Giants, Diamondbacks, Derek Rodriguez coming up from Sacramento. He's looked good there. AAA Sacramento, 3-0, 3.64 ERA, 1.21 whip. You know, it's tough. It's tough when you're this guy came up as a shortstop. You know, he was just a below average shortstop. They turned him into a pitcher. He has this spectacular rookie season. You know, his dad is a Hall of Famer. Spectacular rookie season, and he gets high on himself. And we saw the same thing happen with Derek Holland. Derek Holland, a year ago, had no job. Nobody wanted to touch him. He works his ass off all summer. He earns a job. He has a good season. Then he sits all winter thinking, look, I'm back. I'm a starting pitcher in the MLB. And then he comes back and he's worthless. And the same thing's happening with Derek Rodriguez here. I think Derek Rodriguez can come back. I really do. Now, Giants are hitting 237, 684 OPS versus lefties. They do get Alex Dickerson back, who was hitting 382 with 6 homers in 31 games when they picked him up. Alex Young made his major league debut against the Giants, 1 run, 3 hits over 5 innings, but he's lost his last 2 starts. It was against the Dodgers who touched him, and the Dodgers are a tough team. I'm not saying I'm going to back Derek Rodriguez, but let's just see what we're getting. Oh, wow, a huge move to the Diamondbacks. Is that Full. Wow. Maybe I should just stay off. Mine opened to minus 120, now minus 150, a 30-cent move towards the Diamondbacks. What do you think here, Giants, Diamondbacks?
I like the lefty for Arizona, Alex Young. I mean, I think he's been pretty solid. I think he's got some upside. San Francisco's not a great team against lefties this season in terms of they're near the bottom, actually, if you look at batting average, runs per game, weighted on base average, all of those key stats against lefties. And when it comes to Young and when it comes to this Arizona team overall, they've played some pretty good baseball the last week and a half a bit. We talked about the Giants, I think, last week, that their magic has really started to run out a little bit. They get bombed by Oakland yesterday. Well, actually, they come back, make it close, but they still lose to Oakland yesterday. I got to see it before I believe it with Derek Rodriguez. This is a guy that was really struggling in his most recent stint with the Giants before getting sent down. He's going to have to show me he can step up here and play it or pitch well against this Arizona team that is hitting better lately, that is playing good baseball and in better current form. So for me, it's an Arizona or pass spot, but it's minus 150, minus 160. It's not the price that I'm willing to lay. It would be an Arizona lean only for me.
You know what? Sean Glass on Arizona team total over. I expect Derek Rodriguez to pitch well here, to pitch well and get his job back. Understand what he did wrong in the offseason and just believing in himself too much. All right, that's every MLB game on the card. Let's move on to this CFL game, and then we're going to talk NFL. CFL game, we're talking the Leos. The Leos open up as huge dogs, and that's come back. The total opened up at 51. It's now at 52 or 52 and a half. That was up at 53 a second ago. And the spread, man, this opened up at minus 12. And then there were a lot of 10s on the board. The 10s are gone. There's 10.5s again. So money clearly coming in on these. Eddie Oyas and Mark Lawrence on the Jets. Teddy Covers on the Falcons. Wow. Then money coming in on the Bombers at minus 10, which I understand. Well, Lions coming off that heartbreaker, man. God, do we miss Wally Buono. That heartbreaker. They look like they were in business. I hit on the over. Actually, Rafa, could you put up the CFL record? Because starting to get my shit back together after a real tough stretch there. It's opened up at 6-2, and then all of a sudden I was at 9-11. So we've hit 3 straight. Lions, Bombers. We were very lucky. I was very lucky to hit that first quarter, first half against the Bombers. I was watching that game. The Bombers just don't look as good as I thought. And Matthews, a wide receiver at 6'5", I thought, man, that he's going to be such a dangerous weapon. He's not being used. The Bombers defense is still very strong. How are you hammering this Lions-Bombers spot?
Yeah, this is a very interesting game. By the way, don't worry about guys in the chat that Teddy Covers and Mark Lawrence are on opposite sides, okay? If everybody didn't bet opposite sides or everybody was on the same side, there wouldn't be sports books and casinos to bet at. So, it's okay. The world will move on. But nevertheless, BC and Winnipeg, over 51.5 is what I bet in this game. You saw it last week clear as day in the Hamilton game. BC's defense can't stop you or me right now, Jimmy. Like, they're that bad. And it was really, truly stunning to see how bad their defense is right this season, considering they hired a defensive mind as their head coach in Devon Claybrooks, a guy who did a tremendous job as the defensive coordinator with the Calgary Stampeders for years. And he has been he has struggled to get this defense to play even decent, let alone good. They've been awful. They're dead last in the CFL in points allowed. They gave up a 35 spot last week to the Hamilton Ticats, blow a double-digit lead and lose that game. Can't stop Dane Evans and the Ticats offense with the game on the line multiple times. This is not a scheming issue or a coaching issue for Devon Claybrooks with this Lions defense. It's a personnel issue. It's a player issue. He's got no players on defense that can play at an adequate level. And it doesn't matter if it's the defensive line, the linebacking core, and the secondary. They're all playing piss poor. There's no pass rush. They can't stop the run. There's receivers running wide open down the field against that secondary, which has been abysmal this season for the Lions. And I don't know if it changes here against Winnipeg. I know Winnipeg's offense has sputtered and scuffled a little bit in the last couple of games. They haven't played as well. Matt Nichols has looked a little off. Well, no better opponent to get back on track offensively than this BC Lions team. I know BC traded for Sean Lemon, veteran defensive end pass rusher from the Argos earlier in the week, but he's just got there a few days ago. I know he'll play tonight, but he still doesn't know the playbook or scheme down pat yet. Can he make an impact right away this quick, just days ago being traded? I'm not so sure. On the flip side, when you look at it from a Winnipeg defensive perspective, they're very good defense still, Jimmy, no doubt. I think they're one of the top defenses in the CFL. But here's the thing. Jackson Jeffcoat didn't play last week, a key pass rusher. And I noticed in that game against Calgary, Nick Arbuckle had time to throw the ball. I know Winnipeg escaped with the win, but Calgary moved the ball against Winnipeg. Pass rush wasn't as strong for Winnipeg without Jackson Jeffcoat in that game. He's also not going to play tonight. BC's offensive line going in out of the bye week before they played Hamilton last week, they made changes on their offensive line. 2 new starters there. It was an offensive line that was piss poor, get most sacks allowed in the CFL. I thought the offensive line for BC played a lot better. And that was my thought going into that game against Hamilton. They certainly can't play any worse with these 2 new starters on the offensive line. And in fact, they did play better against Hamilton. The offense isn't why BC lost that game. Mike Riley moved the ball in the passing game. They ran the ball effectively. They scored 34 points. The defense couldn't get any stops. So I'm going to go in that direction again. BC's been an over machine on the road. BC's been an over machine as an underdog. You look at the head-to-head series between BC and Winnipeg is 8-2 to the over in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. No surprise to me that this total's been bumped up, and that's the way I would go. From a side perspective, it's tricky, Jimmy, because Winnipeg's 0-3 against the spread their last 3 games after a 5-0 ATS start. There's no point spread bargains to back Winnipeg right now, and the value is clearly on BC, and BC covered the number wire to wire as a big double-digit dog last week at Hamilton, but it was a debilitating, crushing, heartbreaking, gut-wrenching loss for BC. Now they got to play on the road for a second straight week on a short turnaround from Saturday to Thursday after just a gut-wrenching loss. I question the mindset for BC, and I question it enough that even though I lean to BC plus these points, I don't trust it enough to bet it.
I totally get your breakdown. What concerns me with the total is the Lions getting shut down. And we've seen it before earlier in the year when the Bombers score a ton of points early and just coast in the second half. That's my only concern. That's why I haven't made the move yet. I'm going to take more time capping that game, but great job, Babano. And did you make a move on the over?
Yeah, I did bet full game over. I actually did bet a small first half over as well. And if you're worried about, if you're in that line of thinking where you're worried that if Winnipeg's up by 14, 17, 21 points in the fourth quarter, that they just shut it down, hand the ball off a lot to Andrew Harris, which is usually Winnipeg's MO when they get a big lead, then it wouldn't be a bad idea maybe looking first half over in this game. But I don't know if they're ever going to get a big lead, Jimmy. I mean, they have been in a lot of tough games against teams that are, comparable at least with BC. They had, they lost to Toronto for crying out loud. They lost to Hamilton. They were in a dogfight against Calgary. They haven't been winning by margin lately. And I was impressed, even though they lost, I was impressed with BC's effort. 1-6 team out of their bye week, probably still not going anywhere, but they laid it all out on the line against Hamilton. We'll see if they can do it again tonight because, that was a tough loss to have to come back from. But the effort was there last week for BC. The desperation was there last week. Will it be there again tonight? I think if it is, they got a chance to hang in there, and the game probably, I think, I'll have a better chance of going over the total.
Yeah, I'm going to take some more time, but that first half at this point does. But you make a nice point that the Bombers have been doing nothing. I just think the Lions are that inept defensively. Okay, let's keep rolling now quickly. This is my NFL card for today and tomorrow, and I'm on the Jaguars -3 with motivation being the biggest factor. But man, in my head, I thought Foles would play at least 2 drives. Now it looks like there's no first teamers going to play at all for the Jaguars. But with that happening, we have not seen a move towards Philadelphia. So, it's tricky. It's tricky right now. But had I known that the first unit was not going to play at all for the Jags, I wouldn't take them. But I have them already -3, -107. I've already bet them. I'm very interested in this Jets Falcons over. I've been interested in a long time, but it's pretty high for week 2 of the preseason, and it's actually coming down now. So that scares me. And Heritage has already moved it all the way down to 41.5. This is a total that was all the way up to 44.5. And so it makes me very thankful for holding back and not making a move at this point. But we know the Jets are dealing with a ton of injuries secondary. The Bengals-Redskins is just trash against trash in the preseason. Haskins looked terrible yesterday. I know that there's still that three-way competition with Case and Colt and Dwayne, but I still don't know if McCoy's going to get any action recovering from the surgery. So, I need a little bit more time here. But I've been waiting for these first halves to come available, and I would like to see if they are available right now because I want that first half over, and they are beautiful. Okay, I'm going to take the first half over in Green Bay, Baltimore. This was a play that Whale Capper was talking quite a lot about. He said if you could get it under 20, then take it. And I agree with this spot. We might see a little bit of Rodgers. We're still going to see Jackson. I just think that this is a spot where, I know that the Ravens defense is very strong, but look who the Ravens shut down. They shut down Gardner Minshew, so I'm going to take this first half over right now. Packers first half over 19.5, and it's juiced, man. This is going to be a 20 in no time. I'm getting 19.5 at minus 119. That's available at Pinnacle. First half over 19.5 at minus 107. That was the only thing I wanted to add on. I'm on the Raiders plus 3 at plus 100. Let's see if that is available right now. Raiders. It is. Wow. Man. God, there's a 2.5 at Bet Online and minus 135, 1 everywhere else. So I beat that by 2. I'm also on the under 40 in that game here. Under 40. Now only Pinnacle's holding the 40 and Bet Online holding the 40. Everything else is at 39. And then tomorrow, the only move I've made is the over in Dolphins Buccaneers over 43. We've got to wrap up, Babano, but do you have any action on the NFL preseason?
All right, quick hitters. We're going to go really quick here. Every game quickly tonight. Philly, Jacksonville. I don't want either of these teams. Clayton Thorson was awful for Philly in the second half last week. Jacksonville, I'm not putting my money on Gardner Minshew and Alex McGough in the second half with a point spread on the line. Sorry, I'm not. Those two were inept last week, so that's an easy pass for me. I want nothing to do with that game. The under makes sense, but it's already been hammered. Jets, Atlanta. This is the one week I would consider Atlanta. Matt Ryan and the starters might actually play a full quarter tonight. That's been hinted at by Dan Quinn. And the Jets have injuries on defense, especially in the secondary. When I see cluster injuries in one area for a team in a preseason game, that's not a team I want to back. However, I can't get over the Dan Quinn track record. 0-10 is so bad that with Atlanta now having to win the game to cover the number, I lean Atlanta. I think this might be the spot they finally win one, but the track record's so bad I can't do it. Cincy, Washington. Cincy plus the points. I have a small bet here. Washington's got all kinds of things going on. They've got injuries on D, injuries on the O-line. Trent Williams holding out. He wants out of Washington. He doesn't want to be there anymore. Is Colt McCoy going to be good to go for this game? That's a question mark. They didn't play well last week. Cincinnati, they're not great shakes with their quarterback rotation, but they're an underdog here. I don't like the Washington moving parts a whole lot. So give me Cincinnati, small play there. Green Bay, Baltimore, you know damn well I'm not going against John Harbaugh in the preseason, not with his track record. I would lean to Baltimore there. I kind of agree with your overthought here. This total's been hammered down, 40 all the way to 36.5. Baltimore's offense was capable at least last week. Green Bay's defense in the second half with the backups in there, Jimmy, they got shredded. That Packers defense by Houston. And on the flip side, the offense, they were running some up-tempo, hurry-up, no-huddle offense last week at parts during that game against Houston under Matt LaFleur. So if they go up-tempo again this week a little bit, that could make this total look very, very low. So I like over 36.5 and Baltimore laying the 3.5 there. Favorite bet tonight's probably this game, Oakland, Arizona. I'm with you on Oakland, +3. I like their quarterback rotation. Glennon and Peterman entering the game. Peterman catalog after Derek Carr. In this football game. Peterman played well last week against the Rams. Glennon didn't. If you watched Hard Knocks, you saw John Gruden chewing him out on Tuesday night in the latest episode of Hard Knocks. But here's the thing. Arizona's got injuries on defense. And I think Glennon knows pressure's on him. Time to step up, have a better performance tonight against a banged-up, beleaguered Arizona defense. I think he does. And you talk about coaches that care in the preseason with good track records. Those are the coaches you want to be backing in August. John Gruden is one of those. John Gruden, 34-17 straight up, 30-21 against the spread in his head coaching career in the preseason. That goes all the way back to his first stint with Oakland and the Tampa Bay stint. And in his current stint with Oakland, 4-1 straight up, 4-1 against the spread in the preseason for John Gruden here with the Raiders. I think they got a good quarterback rotation. I trust Peterman and Glennon more than I trust Anderson and Canoff for the Arizona Cardinals late in this game. And then Brett Hundley didn't even play all that well last week for Arizona. Very fortunate win for the Cardinals in that game. Oakland, good track record for Gruden in the preseason as a dog. I like the Raiders there.
Great breakdowns. That was wonderful. And we've got to bounce. We've got to go. We've gone way over. And we have that betting show up next. But quickly, I'm on Tigers first 5 at plus 103. Sorry, here we go. Tigers plus 5 at 103. And then I'm on the Cubs first 5 minus a half. Cubs full game -1. I'm on Reds first 5 minus a half. I'm on Braves -1. And finally, I am on the White Sox plus 149, the team total over 3.5. And I'm on the Astros Athletics first 5 under 5.5. Got a lot of plays on this card. And beautiful stuff. Babano, could you go over your plays? Let us know where we could find you, what shows you got coming up, and then give us a leche. We got to get out of here, put a bow on this bad boy.
All right, I'll just leave a couple out there for baseball because there's some I'm stronger on than others. I really like Minnesota, Texas over the total. That's probably my favorite, 11.5 like that one. And I like Houston, -120. Those are my two favorite ones in baseball. CFL, we're on BC Winnipeg over 51.5. For NFL, got Baltimore -3.5. Baltimore Green Bay over 36.5. Oakland +3. It's down to 1. I still like them. I think they win the game. Smaller lean on Cincinnati +2.5. That's it. Find me on Twitter at Bobano. Saturday closing line with Drew Martin, 11 a.m. Eastern. And I will be there in Miami next Thursday. We're looking forward to that and being with everybody down there and having a lot of fun and meeting you all down there. So looking forward to that. I'll be in town in Miami next Thursday. Looking forward to seeing all of you down there. It's been a great Betting with the Bag show. So leche and los bookmakers!